here in Nigeria, voter registration ended at the weekend. Anyone without a voter's card will not be allowed to vote in the coming 2023 general elections. And although registration has been going on across the country for months now, the process has often been held up by logistical challenges and by allegations that registration officers have been exploiting those trying to register. And now there are loud calls for the registration exercise to be extended, with a coalition of lawyers threatening legal action against the Electoral Commission, INEC, over the issue. But INEC is adamant that the exercise is over and that it now has to focus on other things in relation to voter registration, such as compiling the register, cleaning it up to remove those who appear multiple times, consolidating it with new and existing voters, and displaying it at polling units in each of the 8,809 wards across 774 local government areas nationwide for public scrutiny. Additionally, INEC has to print millions of new PVCs for fresh voters, ensure there is enough time for the PVCs to be collected, and make copies of the updated voter register available to political parties well ahead of the 2023 election. So a mammoth task ahead. But those who want more time to register argue that in many areas, the facilities that were supposed to be used to register people were simply not there, and possibly millions have been disenfranchised. So who's got the right of it, and what happens next? Well, for more of this, I'm joined now in the studio by the Chief Press Secretary to the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Rotimi Oyekamni. And from Enugu, I'm also joined by the leader of the Concerned Igbo Stakeholders Forum, Chukwuma Ojkenwa. Let me come to you first, Ms. Oyekamni. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Are you aware that many people are going to miss out as a result of your decision to suspend the voter registration exercise?
Well, we don't wish for that. And in planning for the CVR this time, we introduced another aspect that wasn't introduced before. That's the online pre-registration. And it was part of the lessons we learned from the last exercise we conducted between 2017 and 2018. And we felt that in response to modern times and in our own way of deepening the use of technology, we decided to take it online. So you could, from the comfort of your room, do what we call pre-registration online. You upload your data and your information, but you will still be required to complete the process at the registration center.
So you'd still have to go in.
You still have to go in. But when you go in, you don't waste too much time because all the efforts are there. And when we started, we try as much as possible to sensitize Nigerians on the need to register quickly, you know. In the first 3 months when we started June 2021, the opening 3 months, people were coming in trickles. And I remember that on more than 4 occasions over the next 6 months, the INEC Chairman appealed to Nigerians not to wait till the last minute to register. But unfortunately, I think that warning or that advice was not taken. And what we then found was that the original deadline, which we set, June 30th, original deadline which we set, was far back as June 2021, when we released the timetable for the CVR that, you know, we will do this, and then on June 30, we will have to shut down for so and so reasons. Then about 2-3 weeks before then, you had a mass of people now turning up to register. It's our joy at the Commission if people come to register, because democracy is about numbers. And the more people participate, the more legitimate the person who gets elected will be. But unfortunately, the pressure on our centers that was mounted towards the end was so overwhelming that we were barely gasping for breath.
Yeah, but that's precisely the point, isn't it? I mean, you must know, having done this over many years, that people, and that's the way people are, it doesn't matter which country it is, people tend to concentrate their efforts towards the end of an exercise. There's always a crush of people who come over. I mean, you're aware of that. Why is it that you never make provision for the fact that there are going to be a lot of people coming over towards the end of the exercise?
If you recall, when we started noticing that pressure, we deployed more INEC voter enrollment devices which we use to register, to some places we identified, like Lagos, like Kano, like the FCT. In fact, all the states in the southeast, we deployed more machines. But I think the more machines we deployed, the more people that tend to turn up at such places.
Well, a lot of people complain that some of the machines, like for example in the southeast, and we're going to talk to someone who's in the southeast, but they complain that a lot of the machines didn't work, or that they were not, people came, there was an impossible crush, and I mean the place was like a marketplace, disorganized, chaotic. I mean, and registration centers were just, people were so frustrated going to those places.
Well, we got in touch with our recs when we started having the complaints, and the information we got was that it was difficult controlling people. When you have a mass of people, they tend to become impatient, and when you tell them to get organized, it appears they are wasting too much time. And because of the fact that people were many towards the end, it meant things will move slowly. And for the machines, we responded. What we got, the information we got initially was that those machines were not enough. And the INEC Chairman ordered that more machines should be deployed. And more machines were deployed to each of the states in the southeast. But unfortunately, I think that because of the sheer number of people that turned up, the pressure was overwhelming.
Yeah, but that's why they're asking you to extend it. I mean, because the truth is this, okay? If we look at the numbers now, we're told that the INEC says that PVCs are going to be ready in October, November.
Right.
That gives you at least 3 months before the election.
Ooh, 3 months is no time.
Well, yeah, but it gives you time. So if you extended it for a month, you'd still be able to get in. According to the latest survey that came out, 80% have already collected their PVCs. 13% are waiting to collect. So surely you can deal with that percentage and add some more. In fact, that's a credit to you that you've done it so efficiently that at this stage 80% have collected their PVCs. I mean, why can't you let other people, let people get in? And the other thing I was going to ask you is that, I mean, what about those who turn 18 between August 2022 and January 2023? Why should they not be allowed to participate in choosing their leaders?
Well, we get to the place that we desire in stages. And with technology, there's this saying that you make haste slowly. We have done our best to respond to what people want. But about the extension, we did extend for 1 month. We were to end June 30th, we extended for 1 month. Not just that, we extended the working hours. Rather than 9 to 3 a.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., we extended to from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we included Saturdays and Sundays.
So you're going to disenfranchise those people, basically. That's really the bottom line, that you're not going to move the deadline.
The important thing
if they go to court and they win, you're going to be forced to do it. So why not just do it?
No. Let me tell you about the court thing, because I know there was an organization called SIRAP that went to court initially. And what the court said was that, because they were relying on the aspect of the Electoral Act that says that we shouldn't stop before 90 days. But if they look at the wordings of the Electoral Act, it said not later than 90 days. So that gives us the opportunity to stop.
Okay.
And what I want you to understand is, it's not just we want to stop. It has to do with the processes that we need to undertake. You captured it succinctly in your intro, and those things are huge. This is a huge country, and of what use is it if we register right as at today, we had harvested over 12 million new registered voters. Of what use is it if we cannot produce the PVCs for them? And
okay, well, you have a point there. Let me bring in from Enugu, Chukwuma Ojkenwa, who is the leader of the Concerned Igbo Stakeholders Forum. Thank you very much for your patience. Unfortunately, we've only got a couple of minutes left. What is you heard the representative there of the Electoral Commission. I mean, what do you have to say to him?
First and foremost, I think it would be nice to remind INEC that what we are talking about here is the continuous voter registration. Except INEC stands to tell Nigerians that it is no longer CVR, but perhaps a periodic voter registration. And what that means is INEC, as an independent body and umpire that stands to protect the rights of citizens to exercise their franchise, is not a law unto itself and should not take decisions that in some ways contravenes with the amended Electoral Act 2022, which clearly stipulates that at least the 90-day rule should be obeyed. And I think INEC have all of the ample time because from the submission by the INEC official, it's as if to say maybe you have to complete all of the process first before any other thing can be done. But I think the continuous voter registration can continue whilst the department that is in charge in converting that to the permanent voter registration card should still go ahead with the process. So the idea of like trying to disenfranchise many Nigerians, and we are particularly concerned in the southeast, because like in a place like Obara Square where you have several voters turn out, like in some cases over 500, and you could just have like maybe 3 to 5 machines that are available, people clustered all over the place, and many people come back severally without having the opportunities of being registered. We would have concluded that that is an attempt to defranchise Ndi Igbo. If not that, on further inquiry, we discovered that that was almost happening across the different regions of the country. And INEC must take responsibility that it did not show enough capacity in terms of the machine and manpower to register as many as Nigerians that turned out. So what is the excuse for that? Should INEC excuse itself and not say, okay, because we've not demonstrated capacity in manpower and machines to register as many as demonstrated interest to get registered, then you should go back. It's not a must, you have to vote. I mean, it's not a fair enough, especially in our political life in this dispensation where there is an unusual awakening in the life of Nigeria young persons. They want to be part of the government they can believe in. And I think we've never seen it this way, and it should be encouraged.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for sharing that thought. And a final word from you, Rotimi Oyekamni, because obviously you have a right to reply.
Well, I share his thoughts, and I just want to assure him that it is not in the character of the Commission to disenfranchise people. We would really, really love to register more people. But like I said, it's easy to say we have all the time if you are not part of the Commission to really understand the processes we have to undertake. But for that, we have no reason at all not to continue with the CVR. But I think, you know, food for thought, we will take it from there and we improve in our services.
Okay, I want to thank you very much indeed. Rotimi Oyekamni is the Chief Press Secretary to the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and of course from Enugu, the leader of the Concerned Igbo Stakeholders Forum, Chukwuma Ojkenwa. I apologize, Chukwuma, but we are out of time.